Hi, Peter Frampton here. You're watching me on Spinner. The new record is called Thank You, Mr. Churchill. That's a track that we've been doing on the road last year, actually. And it sort of sets the scene for the album a little bit, because it's a little bit more autobiographical than I'm used to doing. And it's definitely a lot more lyrics than the last CD, which was instrumental. So it's... The basic story about Thank You, Mr. Churchill was the fact that I woke up one day and just thought what would have happened if we hadn't, the Allies hadn't won the Second World War, and my dad never came home, you know? So it was like, I probably wouldn't be here. So it was just the thought of, you know, there's a lot of great people that seem to be, just appear at the right time in history, and Mr. Churchill was one of those, I believe. I got to know Mike McCready from Pearl Jam when doing the Almost Famous film. Mike had played on 4 tracks that they'd already recorded for the band in that movie, which Nancy and Cameron had written. I wrote a couple of tracks with Gordon in addition to those 4. So then I came out to Seattle and recorded those 2 tracks with Nancy's band, the same band that was playing the band in Almost Famous. So I got to know Mike then. He came to see a show of mine and invited me to a Pearl Jam show in 2004. So I got to sit in with Pearl Jam and Neil Young all at the same time, so which was a highlight, to say the least. And while I was there that day, I asked Matt and Mike if they would play on one of the tracks that was going to be on Fingerprints, which turned into 2. And that's how I started the relationship with. And of course, when I asked Matt, would he play on Black Hole? I wanted to do a cover of Black Hole Sun. I'm thinking Pearl Jam, and I completely spaced that he was the drummer on the original Black Hole Sun. So then I realized, do you mind doing this? And he said, absolutely, I'd love to do it. So it was great. He's played on it twice. It was unbelievable. I mean, to record. First of all, to write with my son was we jammed over the years, and there was at one point where I thought he was never going to play music, and then he surprised me and picked up a guitar and started showing me things. So so we decided to sit down one day and write a couple of songs, and one of them just seemed really right, possibly for the record. So I didn't say anything to Chris Kimsey, my co-producer, and then I just sort of slipped the demo in, just acoustic and him singing, me playing acoustic. And he said, oh, what's that? What's that? We got to do that one. I like that one. And then he said, who's singing? That's not you singing. I said, no, it's my son, Julian. So, and then of course, Julian's favorite drummer is just so happens to be Matt Cameron. And and Matt was already, I knew Matt was going to do it, so I surprised Julian. Julian came to the studio, and we cut, it's called Road to the Sun, and we cut that track live, and his vocal is the first take. He took to recording like a Frampton, like a horse to water, Frampton to water. So yeah, it was pretty incredible how he stepped right up to the plate.